What's up, guys? In today's video I want to show you how I built this workshop slash garage workbench. This is a really solid workbench. It's going to be a lot stronger and more sturdy than pretty much anything that I've seen that you can buy at your typical hardware store such as Lowe's or Home Depot. This thing is super solid, super sturdy. You'll be able to put your car parts or any of your projects up on here, such as brakes, brake calipers, shocks. This would even hold a transmission. I built this workbench to replace my old workbench, which just wasn't cutting it anymore. It was a little too small, a little too low, and just a little wobbly. And so I wanted to replace that, get some more room to work with. This is going to be part of a mini series where I'm going to be going through garage storage and organization systems. I've got some plans to put some other cabinets in here, get rid of these old cabinets that just don't really look that great. They're not bad in your average garage, but I plan to do a lot of work on cars in here, and I just want this area to be really nice and neat, organized and set up to be able to do that kind of work. So like I said, I'm gonna get some other cabinets, get some of this stuff up off the floor, get it out of sight and out of the way for working on things. So you guys know what to do. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. And follow me here while I do this garage organization process. So now I'm gonna show you how I built this table. Alright guys, so I got my butcher block countertop. This is a 6-foot section by 25 inch versus this old Coleman cabinet, which measures about 60 inches long and 19 or so inches wide. It has a total of about 8 square feet of space. This is going to be approximately 12 square feet of space, giving me over a 50% increase in working area. All right guys, so I use this countersink concept. I don't remember exactly what it's called. They make tools for this, but I don't have one, so I just did it by hand. But basically I used a small drill bit to drill a hole in the direction that I wanted it to go, and then I wanted to be sure it wasn't, you know, too shallow or too deep, where it would either split the wood or come out the backside. And then I used a bigger drill bit just to open up a little area here about a 1/4 inch deep to allow the head to countersink into the wood. These aren't perfectly countersunk, but they're close enough for what I need for this project. So next up, I'm gonna set the post in here, and I want to make sure that these are all square in both directions. I just checked all these out. 3 of the 4 are setting really well. This one over here is leaning that direction a little bit for some reason. I don't know if it's just a bad angle on the cut or what's going on there, but I'll be sure to get that squared up. And what I want to do here is start with one post and work my way around, making sure that this board I put across the bottom here lines up lengthwise with this post when it's in a square position. For the bottom section here, I'm just doing the back and sides of the bench, leaving the front open so that I can roll tool chest underneath, or my plan is one side to use this as like a workstation and maybe have a bar stool or something like that sitting in there, so I could sit and work on the computer or whatever I need to do, or if I'm just working on something that's really detailed and I feel like sitting down for that project, then I can do that. I am using exterior or weather resistant screws on all this, as this is being done in a garage. Don't really ever expect this necessarily to get wet. And typically when I'm working down here and it's not ideal weather conditions, I've got my mini split on. Guys, pretty much got this table framed up. Probably gonna add a couple diagonal braces, but I wanted to show you a couple things real quick. When I was checking to see if these legs were square and how stable they were, one thing I noticed when this was just attached down here was this corner on all the posts was like wanting to kind of pull off the table if I was moving it in any direction. So what I did is countersunk another screw down here in the corner of each of these posts. Now I've got these lower cross members on. What I did is I set these about 6 inches off the bottom of this post. I didn't want to go all the way down on the floor with it. I wanted to leave it up a little bit higher. I think it's going to look aesthetically a little better. And if at some point I decide to put a shelf on here, then I can do that. So now I'm going to flip this table over, just make sure it sets nice and level on the floor, and then add my diagonal bracing if it feels like it needs it. Alright guys, I just finished up this workbench. It's super solid, super sturdy. Whenever I put it back up onto its legs, I did notice I had a little wobble side to side, so I added the diagonal bracing here in the back. But this is going to be super strong and super sturdy. So you can put your car parts or any of your projects up on here when you're working on brakes, suspension. You know, this would even support something like a transmission or something like that. And it'll be really nice and stable whenever you go to work on your car parts. One thing I have noticed here, when I initially set it up over here on this section of the floor, it was super solid, super sturdy. And the section it's at right now, it appears that maybe this one leg is just slightly longer and it's got just a very slight wobble. But what I may do once I get it set into place is check it out, and then if I need to go back and just you know, take off just a little bit of material so it sets nice and even on the floor, I will do that. Eventually what I'm going to do, probably I'm going to go ahead and polyurethane coat this top to protect it from moisture and oils, and then eventually once this wood dries, I'm going to paint the base black to match the toolbox. I'll probably be using the same paint as I used on the drift simulator, but like I said, I'm going to have to let that dry for a while. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is going to be a mini series on garage storage and organization that I'm going to be working on over the next 1 to 2 weeks here when I have time. I've got some other projects planned as well, or in the process of being planned as well, so I just kind of see how this all works out. But you guys know what to do. Be sure to hit that like button, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to stay tuned till next time, everybody, and I hope you'll have a great day.